A very good morning to you and welcome to the first Indian edition of the Women in the World Conference. Now, I won't blame any of you for wondering what I, a mere man, am doing up here, especially after that video of awe-inspiring women. But first of all, I think I'm here because the idea of a man introducing Tina Brown at a conference called Women in the World has a delicious sense of irony that I don't think is lost on Tina. The second reason I'm here, of course, is that I have yet to meet a person on this planet who can say no to Tina. But the third reason, and the real one, is because I am a great admirer of Tina. Tina, you don't know this, but I first saw you and met you, and I say you don't know this because you probably don't recall it, but I met you in Davos at a lunch that you were hosting for President Clinton. And ladies and gentlemen, there she was, presiding over this table with some of the most powerful men in global business, and yet they were dancing to her tune, to her choreography. And now I'm the son of a feminist, and I live in a house of strong women. So that scenario seemed to me to depict the natural order of things, the way the world ought to be. A world run by talented, capable, and powerful women, the kind of women that fill this hall today. So thank you for inviting me, Tina, and I'm honored to be here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when I asked Tina's staff to give me some pointers on how I should introduce her today, they sent me a bunch of suggestions that struck me as being entirely too modest. They described her as an award-winning editor, journalist, and author. And yes, Tina Brown is all of these. But what they omitted to mention was that Tina Brown is a genuine force of nature. From what I have read, I believe there were three major influences that have made Tina the powerhouse that she is. Firstly, Tina grew up in the movie world. Her father was a very well-known producer. So she understood very early on how dramatic storytelling can capture an audience. Secondly, she's always been irreverent and questioning of authority. And proof lies in the fact that she managed to get herself expelled not from one, but 3 boarding schools for being an extremely subversive influence. And Wikipedia tells us that flying objects. Now, my prize, Tina, for doing this intro is that I have to see a picture of this headmistress at some point in time. But thirdly, and more seriously, she understands that the pen is mightier than the sword. During her career, she was the editor-in-chief of top publications including Tatler, Vanity Fair, The New Yorker, and the founder of the digital news site, The Daily Beast. And she reinvented each one of these. Now, her flair for dramatic storytelling, her irreverence of approach, and her jugular instinct for the written and spoken word have made her a legend in the field of publishing. You don't have to take my word for it. Her awards tell the whole tale. Because as an editor, she's been honored with 4 George Polk Awards, 5 Overseas Press Club Awards, 10 National Magazine Awards, and the Daily Beast was recognized as the news website of the year. But now, she's using her formidable talents, particularly her proclivity for challenging authority, to help topple the forces that oppress women today. Tina launched Women in the World in a small midtown Manhattan theater in 2009. And in just a handful of years, it's grown into a premium forum for ideas from women from all around the world. Now, in partnership with the New York Times, Women in the World is extending to points overseas, Dubai, London, and of course, lucky for us, here in Delhi. At this conference, you're going to hear many powerful stories thanks to Tina's belief that women's voices have to be heard. But I genuinely believe that her own story is probably amongst the most powerful of all. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to welcome and present the founder and CEO of Tina Brown Live Media. Tina Brown.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you.